Hello and welcome to the pack 9 of round 2 of the Discraft Ledgestone Open presented by Bushnell. Part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. You have some geese in the background there. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We are your two hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.
Thanks for being part of our flock.
We got 9 more holes at Sunset Hills. This is round 2 of 4. Yesterday we played at Northwoods. Today it's a lot shorter, a lot more wide open.
A lot more birdies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check out that leaderboard. 4 or 5 down is really where you want to be to push after the first half of the course. There's just as many birdies on the back.
Yeah, this course feels a little bit like a gauntlet. You want to get as much green as you can on your scorecard. You can feel the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Hole 10's a par 3. It's 301 feet. It does play a little bit uphill. You see forehands or backhand turnovers following the flight of the drone path. You can also go to the right side of that willow and try to kind of sneak in between these 2 bushes. We got merch. Check it out. Top left corner.
Also, GK Pro Skins next week at Des Moines. It is a fan experience. There's tickets for sale on the discgolfprotour.com. Come out, hang out. You guys love the skins on YouTube, but why not watch it in person? discgolfprotour.com for tickets.
Lisa taking that backdoor route, landing in that first bush. This is my preferred route. You do have to get maybe just a hint lucky in these bushes, but it's just an easier shot than to try to go around the left side.
And that tree on the left, just that first gap off the tee, it really gets in your head trying to throw an Anheuser.
Yep.
Sidearm is the best play, I think, to get to the green, but it's uphill and it plays a lot longer than the 300 feet on the tee side.
Kristin throwing her fortress really well. They also trimmed up these willows a good bit, so you can kind of attack on the right a little bit better. Valerie a little early, but still putting wide open from circle 2.
I kind of like this play. I feel like she's like, I'm confident in my long putt game. I'm going to try to go left side.
I do think that is common to aim right at the tree and fade just before it. I do think she was a little earlier than she meant, but it's a good play. Ooh, Lisa, that was in the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
I love how she like digs her foot in, you know, as part of her routine before she putts. It's like, okay, go.
And then dances around while it's in the air the whole time.
Oh, whoa. Missy left with nothing, having to go turbo. This is on my tournament bucket list to make one of these someday.
Someday.
Missy liked the effort. Came out clean. Another birdie for Kristin. That's to get to 5 down on the round. Valerie only 1 down, needing to get more birdies on the back.
36% of the field getting to circle 1 in regulation and 87 getting to circle 2, but only 24% birdieing. That shows you just how often those bushes come into play on the green. Hole 11, a huge downhill shot at 393. You can use every bit of this hill, though, to help you get distance. They added an out-of-bounds line on the left-hand side under that big tree. Obviously, the pond on the right is out of bounds, and both of those can be found very easily. I like a huge sidearm here. I think that's the best play. You can throw a big turnover as well. There's also a hyzer line around this tree if you want to kind of take all of that out of the equation.
Whoa, I actually have never seen this.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a safer play.
I mean, she gets down there for a long look.
Yep. Can't quite get as much distance as you need to get to the green.
In years past, there was a weird marshy area right in the landing zone where Lisa just landed. Luckily, it's nice and dry a little later in the year, and it's wide open, though there is more OB on the left side.
Oof.
Wow, Kristin pushing towards that pond. She's inside the circle.
And just on a rope the whole way, too. She doesn't have to flex or anything.
Nope. I mean, she's kind of like figuratively flexing.
Yeah.
That's her St. Pro.
Missy going with a little bit more of a flex line, hyzer flipping, getting some nice turn.
Ooh. Great shot. That's my preferred line, to kind of flex on the right and try to let the hill carry it towards the left.
Totally.
I mean, I'd love to just throw it really straight the whole way, but it's far. Valerie a little too low.
Getting a cut roll, but thankfully it still checks up in the middle of the fairway. Not quite to putting range, though. She'll have to just pitch up for par.
Smooth pitch up there from Valerie. Lisa, probably outside circle 2. Pitching up as well. Yes.
Wow.
Man, we are seeing some great putts today.
I know. I want to see like a Missy Gannon putting reel.
I mean, Lisa too.
Yeah, that's
We've
true.
seen probably at least 4 circle 2 putts.
Round 2 putting reel.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's to get Missy 4 down, I believe.
And Kristin too, just
yeah, Kristin's stacking them up. She's 6 down.
yeah, just checking the boxes. It doesn't feel like she's trying very hard. It just seems easy.
Valerie gonna take a par. As is Lisa. This is a tough get, I think.
Mm-hmm. I would consider it more of a bonus birdie for sure.
Hole 12, you are teeing kind of in this awkward sidewalk area. You are going past this wooden structure. They did clear out a ton of trees on the right, so the line is way more open, which is awesome. You can be a lot more aggressive and kind of hang it out towards the water. You can see the out of bounds line a couple feet off the water. You want to come in on a hyzer angle and hopefully just stick. You see a lot of rollaways on this green. If you bail out too early left, there is an out of bounds kind of ball golf teeing area. Is there a bunker? No,
Nope.
Just the teeing area.
Yeah, a couple of guardian bushes that can make putting a little bit more difficult, and the green is so steeply sloping towards that water. There is a little log that kind of helps it with rollaways, but it can make putting very interesting on this hole.
I like how low Kristin kept this. I think you see a lot of people accidentally sky it, but I feel like you really have to push the water line more than feels comfortable to like truly attack. Also, you see everyone kind of butted up against the edge of this tee pad. It doesn't feel like you quite have enough room. So it's just a little awkward.
Yeah, Missy's got the right idea here, throwing it nose down, using the hill to help carry the disc all the way there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
this hill does the perfect little Annie skip to the basket. If you just hit anywhere inside circle 2, it like gives you a putt.
Oh man, I would love to know what that is like.
Oh no.
No, I think this
roll
hole's
away.
really hard. I end up bailing left, kind of like this. Like, yeah, that's what happens to me. And then you're right behind those dumb trees.
You're dumb. They're the perfect size.
You're just right in the freaking way.
This plate is the 3rd most difficult hole, and I think it is just very intimidating. It is also a narrow gap that you suddenly have to hit after having a bunch of wide open fairways.
But again, it's way more open. Valerie getting to circle 2. Everyone in the card doing pretty well. But you just see how awkward this is. Kristin gonna go in between the trees. Needs to match the angle of the hill so she stays close. Like, look, it's just so awkward.
And you don't want to do
Well
anything
done.
too crazy
Yeah.
here.
There are logs. If you do roll, they tend to catch you and keep you in bounds. So that's nice.
That
But
is nice.
Valerie giving it a bid and staying close.
Only 10% of the field getting birdies. That's 5 out of the 50 competitors. But 26% of the field getting inside circle 1. So, yeah, this putting green is brutal.
This is Missy to go 6 down. I think she only has 3 pars on the round.
The roller coaster.
Yeah. Mostly green, though. She's stacking them up.
Hole 13, a very narrow gap you have to hit that's further away from the tee pad. In years prior, a lot of people opt for the layup here, but they trimmed all of this grass in the out of bounds area down almost to flat, and it has opened it up a lot. It feels a lot easier and more manageable to aggressively go for this green that's placed as an island. There is a drop zone if you do land in the out of bounds area. That's about, I would say, 80 feet from the pin.
Very hard to save. If you go for it, it's a 2 or a 4 generally. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing more people go for it. It's, trimmed way down, opening up the gap. I think that kind of looks like it's hyzering out too much, but that actually means it's like good. You know what I mean? I feel like if you throw it too straight, you end up OB on the right side.
If you pull out a straighter disc, a fairway or a mid-range, and miss that big bush on the right-hand side, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
It should be okay.
Kind of like, oh no, it's turning.
Yep, the guardian bush.
Definitely some wind picking up too. On the back 9, it was definitely a bit breezier.
Yeah, and these back holes, it swirls too. There wasn't really one way or another. Whoa. Lisa worm burning one up to the drop zone area.
Gets a big skip. Oh, that must have been intentional. That was a Sexton Firebird.
Yeah, I think that was a layup.
Yeah, but like she laid it up so short and then did the skip. That was a crazy layup, right?
Yeah. That's a Lisa layup.
Okay. Wow, who just parked it? Was that Valerie?
That was Valerie.
That was an amazing shot.
Nice, thank you.
She threw a bear. She's thrown that disc really well.
Kristin from the drop zone.
You rarely see anybody make this putt. It's definitely a fair drop zone. It gives you a chance, but it's a pretty long bid. Missy from Circle's Edge.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Missy.
Wow.
She's 7 down.
And all of her putts have been like 28 footers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they've been easy little shorties.
That should tie it with Kristin bogeying this hole. And I mean, that's not a true tester, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
She does make it, so.
Stats are super interesting on this hole. 33% below, 33 at a par, and 33 above.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So literally a third of the field opting to go for it and a third opting to lay up. Crazy.
Probably 2/3 going for it and then missing.
Maybe.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? A third
yeah,
missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have never seen another group of people talk about their thing the way that disc golfers talk about our thing. And it feels like you're a part of it. It feels like no matter how big the sport gets, you being a part of it, you feel like you have an investment in it, and it's yours.
Hole 14 is a par 3 that everybody should get, but for some reason just stretches out and doesn't let you park the hole. There is a tree on the right that kind of forces you to throw really straight. These guardian trees really aren't that much in the way. There's OB on either side where you see all the tall stuff. I don't know what it is, but you see more circle 2 putts than you would expect on this hole. Like,
Yeah.
it's only 330, but
I think it's because you kind of have to open up a little bit. It is maybe very slightly uphill. You kind of have to open up on your drive a little bit. And the out of bounds it's just a little close for comfort.
there was a bit of a headwind here, I believe, too, that kind of flipped your disc over.
It's funny, we watched the flag on the left-hand side blow towards the right and the flag on the right-hand side blow towards the left.
Yeah.
So who knows what's happening?
Totally.
It's swirly.
But Missy, you see landing really a lot shorter than you'd like. This looks like a pretty good move on it, but let's see if it gets inside the circle. Valerie also going to be in circle 2. Like, it's not that far. What?
No, it's just really hard to be aggressive when the OB is pinched the way it is, because if you get too much of a skip or you turn it over too much, you can find it so easily. The grass is pretty trimmed. It doesn't check up as much as you'd like if you throw a disc really hard.
Let's see if Kristin can get one inside the circle. The rest of our card are going to be putting from circle 2.
That needs
That's
to flip.
very left. Yeah. That's heading towards OB. Yep. Missy from outside circle 2.
Do it.
Come on.
Oof.
Great run from Missy.
Lisa from about 50.
Oh.
Holy moly.
And I believe that is to go 6 down for Lisa
Wow.
and to tie it up with Missy.
Oh my gosh, this is so
and
much fun to
Kristin's going
watch.
to lose a stroke. So Kristin's going to lose the lead here. Unless she makes a really good putt, I guess.
Yeah.
Check this out. This is Lisa's like 3rd highlight putt of the round.
With a really slow follow through too.
Really good.
I love it.
Fist bump.
She's got that quintessential spin putt.
Yeah,
Yes.
Valerie.
Holy cow.
This is awesome.
Amazing. Back to back. Not one to be big putted.
Valerie's starting to stack them up here. That's 2 in a row. She's 3 down now.
Yes. I mean, that's like 4 circle 2 putts already today.
Yeah.
5 circle 2 putts. That's awesome.
So Kristin to save a par and maintain a share of the lead. Not quite. Whoa. Man. This is crazy.
Lead card, putting clinic. Tune in. Nice par from Missy. And unfortunately, a bogey for Kristin as we go into one of the most difficult holes on the day. Oh, it is the most difficult hole on the day.
Let's check in on the rest of the field here. Look at these 6 downs from Lisa and Missy. Tied for first. Kristin dropping back. Sarah Hokum jumping up to a tie with Valerie. Paige Pierce 6 down on the round. Holland Hanley 5 down. Holly Finley 4 down.
Yeah, everyone's just got like a handful of birdies here. No big deal. This is not like years past either. We see 2 downs, we see 3 downs, but a bunch of 5s and 6s. Woo!
Yeah.
Love that. This is a par 4. You got to get off the tee with some low-hanging tree branches. You really want to pump this one as far as you can. Erring to the right is better than being tucked left because your second shot has to go around this corner. It takes a pretty much 90-degree turn down the fairway. The basket is about 300 feet from the corner. There is out of bounds all the way down the left-hand side that wraps around the back side of the basket if you come in too hot on this very skippy green. Lots of trees to contend with on this green. You can make putting very interesting. This one is birdieable, but it takes 2 perfect shots.
Yeah, absolutely. The second shot being a tunnel is really difficult. Valerie probably going to be a little too short. You have to get in the perfect landing zone to have a straight look at it.
You can see Lisa turning it over on purpose. Being over there does make the second shot easier to protrude into the corner down the fairway.
Yeah, as long as you're far enough. Again, it's easy to land. Even 10 feet too short completely cuts off your angle. That looks like a little bit of a better rip from Missy. Maybe a little bit farther than the other 2.
Good rip from Kristin. She's going for the corner. She can get all the
Absolutely.
way there.
Just shy.
Just
Still
shy.
good shot.
I watched Maria Oliva and Ella. Oh, they were on your
They were
card.
my card. I was just gonna say
Oh my
that they
God.
rounded the corner and they were like halfway down the tunnel. It was unbelievable.
That is amazing.
Oh, no.
And that can happen so easily. There's a bunch of low-hanging tree branches on this corner.
Yeah, you can see everybody just a little bit pinched, not
like,
having a real look.
You can see them struggling to get to the corner. So Maria and Ella both
they were-
getting past it.
Yeah,
and
like
down
not
the fairway?
that far. Well, I guess probably like 40, 50 feet short of that stump. Like,
That is unbelievable.
so Missy with a perfect drive here. And like, look how difficult this is. Now walk up 100 more feet, and that is where Ella and Maria landed.
That just changes the course of this hole entirely.
Missy with a good straight shot. It's a little low, and she left it in circle 2. But again, this is not one that you're counting as like a birdie. This is a well-earned, very difficult birdie.
Totally. And Kristin crushing one, and still she has to throw like a step out sidearm in order to get down the second half of the fairway.
5 more feet, and she could really attack a lot better. Lisa with that unfortunate branch hit and out of bounds stroke. She's throwing 4.
Settle down. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it.
Oh, did that just hit the basket?
It did. You heard her calling for it to hit because she needed it to slow down. That's the second metal hit we've seen from Lisa today from distance. Valerie with a nice floaty looking Anheuser. Love that shot.
That was a beautiful approach.
Let's see, that was a pure.
Kristin just chipping up a sidearm. She'll be just outside the bullseye for an easy par.
Missy for the only birdie on the card.
She's well into circle 2.
Oh, that snuck in there for sure. I bet she caged it.
So impressive. Her putting today is unreal.
And that is to take the solo lead.
No big deal.
I mean, it's kind of a big deal. I believe she is 8 down now. No. 7?
Yeah.
7 is math. Kristin with a good par.
There were only 5 birdies on the day.
Lisa, that's a great bogey save from being all the way back on the corner after
Yeah.
an out-of-bounds stroke.
Incredible shot up that second half of the fairway.
Hole 16 is a 352-foot shot. It's left to right moving, a gentle turnover. You occasionally see a roller. It's tough to keep it turning to the right the entire way at this distance. You tend to see a lot of distance drivers. There are some fairway drivers, but you see a lot of disc kind of fade out at the end of the flight, leaving a lot of circle 2 looks. Another common error is turning over too much and then you end up on the right. That is definitely the worst mistake to make. There's a lot of trees over there and you can be very obstructed. It's not a hard par, it's just kind of tough to get inside the circle for a birdie.
This is one of the ones that is like a bonus birdie.
Yeah. Like, you're pretty happy with a circle 2 look.
Missy making that look real easy, but she's still just outside the circle, and that's the most common, I think, landing zone with a good drive.
That was a thrasher, of course.
59% of the field finding circle 2 off the tee in regulation, and 10% finding circle 1. So, I mean, it was very difficult to get inside the circle for the FPO field here.
Valerie,
the wind did not help either.
No, it did not. Valerie turning hers over too much, landing near that stump. Whoa, a lot of power on that sidearm, but Kristin did pull it a little bit, and those branches took off some steam. She's still almost pin high, but 100 feet away or so.
I think that shot is indicative of the injury that she's been dealing with. Both sidearms that she's thrown during the round have had a little trouble, probably feeling some pain.
Valerie left with an upshot with her pure here.
Oh, I could watch her throw up shots all day.
Me too.
They're so pretty.
Kristin with a harp. Little forehand chip. Lisa threw her Tour Series Color Glow Roadrunner off the tee.
Long
Oh, wait, no,
putt,
I'm
Lisa.
sorry. Nope, that's what she threw last hole. Sorry, she threw a turn. Good run.
You could throw a Roadrunner here too.
Yeah. My bad. That is her Tour Series, though. If you want to support Lisa, you'll probably putt from circle 2 better. Missy's unstoppable right now.
Are you kidding me? She was... I'm looking at her putting stats. Made 75% of her circle 1 putts and 30% of her circle 2 putts.
That's a good stat.
Unreal.
Missy, solo lead right now, 8 down on the round. We could see that 10. Both 17 and 18 are birdieable.
Hole 17, one of my favorite holes on the course. You just rip one off the tee here. It is out of bounds all the way down the left-hand side, and there is a Mando on the right that you want to avoid. You got to keep it over here, but being further left in the fairway is better for your second shot. You want to get into this tunnel right here. The basket's only about 50 feet into the tunnel. It is a really steeply sloping downhill green. So you want to come in kind of soft. You can easily find a rollaway. There's some roots that can pick your disc up. It makes for some very interesting putting with all the greenery around as well.
This is one that your average FPO distance is going to leave a straight up sidearm shot. If you have elite level distance, it leaves more of a chip shot and opens up the angle a bit more. Where Missy landed that far left, that actually opens it up. She probably could throw a backhand if she wanted, but Sunset Hills really doesn't demand a ton of forehands. Like, you can throw them, but you don't have to. So it's weird to get 17 holes in, and then on your second shot, you're like, okay, let me just throw this perfect, very touchy forehand shot.
And if you go a little too short or a little too far on that sidearm shot, it is brutal.
Yeah.
So it is a scary little touchy sidearm.
Yeah, Valerie's a little more on that right side, which it's definitely more of a right angle to get into the green from there. That was a ton of power. Kristin
But she,
a little on that right side.
yeah, definitely playing with that Mando line. But
Where
comes
Terry's standing is pretty close to the mandatory.
up, yeah, comes up just short, I think.
Yeah, she's definitely short of it, but she's going to have to curve something around it, I think.
It's going to make par very difficult.
Lisa with a good rip here. That was a halo turn again. Okay, so Valerie going backhand, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, she's really good at these turnover
I know,
shots.
but it's such a sharp angle. Like it really calls for a sidearm
yeah. And
that just like fades into the gap.
But hitting that tree was probably a rescue
Yeah.
of sorts, because if you cut in that early, there's not much to work with. Lisa, just a little bit deep of the gap, but that's absolutely fine. She'll still have a putt from there, and at least she did not protrude into those bushes.
Yeah. So Missy landing this far left is really a good place to be. She's got a, gentler angle to attack the pin. And that was a really good shot. She gets a flare skip, but stays inside the circle. So there's that mandatory tree, that bright orange one. Kristin gets around it, no problem.
Hey, gets to the mouth of the gap. Even has a long putt.
I'd be surprised if she goes for it, though.
Me too. Really nice little floaty approach from Valerie. She'll have a no-nonsense tap in par.
Yeah, there's that pure once again. Kristin just laying up, taking the par.
What a good recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. Lisa gotta be going for this. No!
Wow.
I mean, like, smart, but I'm surprised.
Me too.
I shouldn't say no like that. I just wanted to see it.
The viewers at home were like, did she miss?
No, it was a good decision. It was a really good par. Great birdie putt from Missy. It's kind of nice to skip past it and have an uphill, safer look at it.
Definitely.
Missy's 9 down.
Wow.
13 on the tournament. She's got a 4-stroke lead.
Unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, two totally different styles of course too. So Missy's really showing us what she's made of here.
That's what I love about Ledgestone is you really have to have it all. The tight technical woods, the more open style birdies on the golf course.
She's got it all, folks.
Wrapping it up on hole 18. It's a par 3. It's 383, but honestly reachable by everybody in the field because it's downhill. You see that tent pavilion and all the concrete around it is out of bounds. There's some OB short left as well, but you really have to fluff one to find it. I like the flex play to the right that fades back. Some of the ladies with a ton of power can throw a little bit more straight at it. I think the most common mistake, well, there's two. I think the best mistake is to hyzer out just a little early down the hill, but you do see people sometimes accidentally turn it to the right and go OB.
There's a little bit of a headwind here, I believe. But it was kind of swirling all day.
So Missy turning it a little bit, probably more than she planned, but a really great shot to circle 2.
Wee bit of a death putt here. It does drop off pretty steeply behind the basket from that angle.
And we'll see what she decides to do. I'm sure she's looking forward to that 10 down. She's been making those circle 2 putts. Valerie with a nice straight look at it here.
And it's not often in FPO 2 that we get to have like 10 down
Double
rounds.
digits, yeah,
this
absolutely.
Is so cool.
Get away from Valerie.
Look at
See that wind, yeah.
Yeah, it's ripping.
It kind of looks left to right based on Kristin's skirt. This is a St. Pro. Fading a little early. This is kind of what I was talking about. That if you don't push far enough, that it just carries down the hillside a little bit. It was still a decent shot.
Lisa ripping over on something overstable.
That looks great. Just needs to check up. Again, kind of fading down the hill a little bit more than you want. I think she's probably in circle 2 with maybe that tree in her way. Valerie first to putt here. Very long uphill look.
Yeah, very steep.
Thank you.
So Valerie, she didn't have a bad round at all, but you can feel that like 3 down is not enough to keep you on lead card. Ooh, Missy
Team no layup for life.
going for it, but missing. She's got 20-ish feet left.
Kristin coming back to the crowd for her birdie putt.
So Kristin, even on the back, she had that 4 down start on the front. Gonna finish 4 down on the round. Hey!
The backwards follow through again. Every time. I love it.
What a great putt. And that's to get Lisa 6 down on the day. Solo second.
Solid round. I don't know why a 6 down feels way more solid than a 4 down.
Yeah, no, that's so good.
It does. Missy with a little bit of work left. Oh.
Gonna look like a bogey here. So, interesting stat here from our friends at Statmando. Lisa's finished on the podium 13 times at Elite Series and major events, but has never won. She's tied with the most podium finishes with Jen Allen.
Really?
So, that's pretty
just-
interesting.
Yeah, hasn't quite nabbed one.
Yeah, she's gotten 3 different silver series, but definitely looking for that big win.
Kind of a weird finish on the lead card on this final hole, not seeing any birdies, but that will change tomorrow. Yep, we got one more round at Sunset Hills.
Valerie clean on the back, the only one to do it. Everyone else with a couple of bogeys. Missy just stacking out those circle 2s, and Lisa as well.
Yeah.
What a show.
Yeah, a lot less green on the back. You called it, Erika. But some pretty smooth sailing from our lead card here.
So yeah, Missy, Lisa, and Kristin maintaining the top 3 positions. Paige Pierce shooting a 9 down. Sorry, 8 down. No, what is it?
9
oh my
down,
God,
yeah.
9 down. Wow, to jump onto our 4th place position
Look
to
at
round out the
Sarah
lead card.
and Holland also shooting 5 downs to scream up into the top 10, no problem.
What a great showing.
Yeah, everyone's under par. Again, love this. Thanks again to our FPO VIP members. You guys are the best. We thank you so many times, and we mean it every single time. Like I said, this was round 2 at Sunset Hills. We get one more crack at it tomorrow in round 3 before we head back to Northwoods on the final day. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. We appreciate you so much. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Hot Geese. And quick shout out to Statmando, disc golf statistics platform. Check them out at statmando.com. They're giving us some cool facts and stats. See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.